Hey there, hi there, ho there, Andrew here, back again inside the Villain Spotlight series with a special countdown of the scariest Halloween Horror Night icons. And if you missed the very first video of this series, that would be ranking number 11. You can go ahead and click the link above, and that way you can catch up. But to recap the criteria of how to get onto the list, it's going to be pretty simple here. See, we're only using icons from Orlando because that's the only event that I have gone to, so I can't really judge anybody else. Also, only original properties and only characters that were designed to be the head of the event. No supporting characters. So, now that you know the criteria, let's go ahead and continue with number 10 on this list of the scariest Halloween Horror Night icons. Number 10. Cindy Kane. Cindy Kane, a.k.a. Cindy, a.k.a. Cindy with an S-I-N instead of C-I-N, a.k.a. Cindy Bearer, was an unused icon for Halloween Horror Nights number 12, Islands of Fear, and even though she was an unused main event icon, she has been used as a supporting character in other events, so she still does fit the criteria to put her on the top of the list. Cindy's original backstory and storyline was that she was going to be the one to introduce the debut of using Islands of Adventure as the haunting grounds for Halloween Horror Nights, number 12, Islands of Fear, and there were a decent number of firsts with this. As the aforementioned, this was the first time that Halloween Horror Nights was going to be at Islands of Adventure. This was also the first time that a child was going to be the icon. It was also the first time that a female was going to be the icon. And this was also the first time that there wasn't going to be small little scare zones in between houses, because each island was going to be a scare zone in itself, and that is a huge undertaking. Cindy, who was originally a daughter of a mortician by the name of Paul Bear, was an extremely disturbed child, and all of the scare actors and the creatures and monsters and the like were part of her warped mind and considered her playthings or her imaginations. That was something that was scrapped and not used for 14 years, basically, when Chance makes her way as an icon in the year 2016 for Halloween Horror Nights number 26. So why was Cindy's storyline scrapped? And more importantly, why was Cindy scrapped as an icon? And the real answer is stranger than fiction, which, of course, that means, yeah, it was nonfiction. Means real life happened. See, this was the second time in 2 years that Halloween Horror Nights had a real-life event dictate their own event, and rightfully so for the year 2002. You see, there were 9 abductions in the year 2002, and news outlets covered them all. Some were grown adults, but the 5 that really garnered the most attention were children, and these were children around Cindy's age. It all started in February with the kidnapping of Danielle Van Dam, a 7-year-old that was found 3 weeks later murdered. The person that did this was found, sentenced to death, and I believe is still incarcerated in San Quentin State Prison. And I'm not going to say the person's name because screw them. I don't promote the names of people that do these kind of things. And the most popular kidnapping was the next one, which was Elizabeth Smart in June of 2002. She was almost on every tabloid at that time in the world and was found alive 9 months later after her abduction. Then there was Samantha Runyon, who was kidnapped in July of 2002 at 5 years old, right in front of her house in her front yard. And her body was found 1 day later, and her kidnapper and murderer is still incarcerated in San Quentin as well. And I have to say, California, you gotta start putting these people down instead of sheltering them in prison. But then, that's just my opinion. The next one, only 1 week later, in July of 2002, was Erica Pratt, who was never rescued because she escaped. At the age of 7, she escaped on her own by gnawing through the duct tape that was used to bound her, and then she smashed through a window and climbed out 1 day after being kidnapped. And I don't know how she mustered the strength to do it, to be honest. I would love to say it's the fact that she's from Philadelphia, but I'm from Philly, and I don't think I would have been as brave at the age of 7. And her 2 kidnappers are still serving time, as far as I know. Couldn't find anything else on the internet. But the last kidnapping was Shawn Hornbeck, who was abducted at 11 years in October of 2002. And he was not rescued until January of 2007 and was only kept alive because his kidnapper sexually assaulted and tortured him. And the only reason why he was rescued was that his kidnapper was getting bored of him and decided to go and kidnap a new kid by the name of William Ben Ownby. And the kidnapping of William led to Shawn's rescue. And the abductor right now is serving 74 life sentences for all the crimes that that individual had committed. And it's nice to hear that that person got shanked while in prison in 2011, but is still alive and still serving all of those life sentences. So after hearing all of these truly real-life horrific accounts, I think it's pretty easy to say and figure out why Universal Orlando decided not to run an icon of a dead girl at that age group torturing and killing things. I think we all would have said, yes, that's in bad taste and a bad business call. But is that the reason why Cindy ranks number 10? Is it really because of bad timing? And I have to say, it's not really that, because my feeling is that she hasn't been given too much to work with, to be honest. I mean, we have seen Cindy retconned now as Cindy Kane. She is no longer the daughter of the mortician Paul Bearer, but she is the daughter of Albert Kane, a.k.a. the Caretaker, who happened to be the icon that replaced her for Halloween Horror Nights number 12, The Islands of Fear. And she was given her own house in Halloween Horror Nights number 20, which was called Orphanage, Ashes to Ashes. And she got to unleash her vengeance on everyone that misunderstood her at the Good Harvest Orphanage. And this house in Halloween Horror Nights number 20 was based loosely on a Spanish horror movie, which was called El Orfanato, which is Spanish for the orphanage. And that is the reason why the house, Orphanage, was spelled with an F and not a PH. So with that house, some scare zones, the appearances in the scare zones, and a scene in Jack Presents The Monsters of Mayhem from Halloween Horror Nights number 25, there really isn't much to go on for Cindy. I mean, I remember that she used to have a little pocket watch that she would wave as a nod to her dad, the Caretaker, in the scare zones that she had, which, I mean, pocket watch is not that scary. So she's now in scare zones with a chainsaw for some reason. Maybe it's because a chainsaw is a lot scarier than a pocket watch. But that is number 10 out of the 11 of the scariest Halloween Horror Night icons. My question is, who do you think is going to be number 9? If you like this video, tap the like button. And if you like the icons, tap the like button. And if you like Halloween Horror Nights, tap the like button. So just go ahead and tap the like button. But if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And of course, be part of the notification squad. All you got to do is tap that bell icon and you will get notified the moment that I upload. And I will see you in the next video.